Hello everybody, this is Jacob with FunZeer1, and I am coming back to you with the video I promised, following up with the LG Leon, or remember I didn't know how to pronounce it, I still don't know how to pronounce it. So here's the device itself. This is on T-Mobile, and this is the prepaid version I got for, I believe it was like $89 plus a mandatory $25 SIM card starter kit. And for that you get the SIM card, which is nice because it actually gives you one where you can cut it to any size, full size, micro, or mini. So that's pretty neat, but you have to add that, so the total after all of that was $111. And the problem, or the good thing with that, was that it also came with a $40 of prepaid cards for T-Mobile. So in other words, I get a month of service with this for free just for buying the phone. So that is that, and well, let's talk about this phone a little and the service. So this phone is basically identical to the LG Tribute 2, which I showed in the first video. They're really the same phone. One's for Boost Mobile, the Tribute 2, and one is for T-Mobile. So that's the phones. And if you'd like to know more in depth about this phone, the Leon, then watch my video on the Tribute 2 because I'm going to be doing a review on that. Well, I have a review out on that as well. So same phone, it'll be the same performance. I've noticed they are the same. I mean, the only difference is the software that's installed by T-Mobile versus Boost Mobile. So anyway, back to the T-Mobile phone. Basically, I said I wanted to do a follow-up video. This isn't really a review of the phone or the service. It's just, I guess, talking about my experience with this. I haven't used it a ton, but I've used it to text a few people. Thanks to those of you who texted. I made some personal calls on it. It actually gets better service in my office and in my apartment than AT&T does, which is my primary carrier. So that's kind of neat. So this, let's see. Well, this is a different design slightly than the Tribute 2, so I'll talk about that really quick. Again, I talked about it in the other video, but this, I don't know if you can see at this angle. Sorry, the screen on my camera is bad, so I can't tell when it's always focused or not up close. But on the Leon for T-Mobile, it's smoother. It's kind of got that design with the lines, but it's smooth. This one, it's, you know, you can hear the texture. So this one's smooth. So that's really the only design difference. Different colors. I believe you can only get it in one color on each carrier. Really, other than that, there are no differences in these phones. So I'm going to put away the Boost version and back to T-Mobile. So that's really the only difference between the two phones, other than the bloatware I talked about, which isn't horrible on either of them, but there's a bit of stuff for sure. T-Mobile TV, Wi-Fi hotspot's not bloatware, neither is visual voicemail, neither is my account really. What else do they put on this? Actually, they lump it into one thing, T-Mobile. So really, there's not much stuff on there that they give you, which is good. Mostly stock Android, or not stock Android, but not loaded with bloatware from the carrier, which is nice to see. So also, this phone actually supports Wi-Fi calling and HD voice, or voice over LTE, which is pretty cool since it's such a budget phone at its price point. So let's see if I can find these settings. So here you can see voice over LTE and Wi-Fi calling. I have Wi-Fi. Okay, well, you can change the preferences in here even though I don't have Wi-Fi on. To Wi-Fi preferred, which is the default, as you can see. So then if you're on Wi-Fi that it deems suitable for a call, your calls and texts will go over Wi-Fi. Cellular preferred means it'll obviously use cellular and then Wi-Fi if there's no cell phone network. So again, That is for Wi-Fi calling, and then also voice over LTE. So that allows you to make phone calls over LTE, which I would recommend. It does not use your data, so that's something to note. And that basically allows for HD calls. They sound a lot better. So, and I did not. Going between the networks was absolutely seamless. So I definitely recommend having at least the voice over LTE on. I don't like it calling over Wi-Fi personally, mostly because I wanted to test the call signal. And okay, so data on this plan, on the prepaid plans, is actually limited to 8 megabits per second, which is good for mostly everything you're going to need it for. Though I believe speed tests are an exception, but I can't really figure it out because it doesn't go much over 8, but it goes over 8. So, and right now it's literally rush hour. Okay, well, see, I'm in a brick building and I'm getting about 8, so that's why I'm not sure if it's allowed over 8 in speed test. I'm guessing it is because I don't believe speed tests count towards your data allowance on T-Mobile either. You can see I've got great service in here, and it is rush hour. There's a ton of traffic right outside. So that's a speed test for you, I suppose. But anyway, so T-Mobile is improving quite a bit in my area of the country. They're still not nearly as up to par as AT&T and Verizon in rural areas, but they are really expanding very rapidly. And by the end of, I believe, this year, they're supposed to have reached a new milestone, like all their 2G network completed to 4G LTE or something. So if that's the case, they have a pretty big 2G network, so that'll mean T-Mobile's really a good competitor. Their LTE network tends to be pretty good. Again, this is rush hour and prepaid. I'm not sure if they limit the speed tests, but T-Mobile is also the third largest carrier, so bigger than Sprint, which runs Boost Mobile and Virgin Mobile. And like I said, I mean, I would consider T-Mobile as a viable option, but really it depends on where you live. It is better. The LTE network is much better than Sprint usually, and also the 4G, not LTE, is much better as a backup than Sprint's 3G. And when I say Sprint, that also means Boost and Virgin. They're all the same network. But again, check your area. T-Mobile also has a cool thing called verified coverage, where you can see that other users have actually experienced the coverage they say they're providing. So that's nice, because for me, I went somewhere a week ago with AT&T, and absolutely there was no service there, even though their map showed that the whole area was covered with 4G and LTE. So again, and no one else with AT&T had service either. So that's just showing that maps aren't always right, but T-Mobile's is. If the little hexagon thing is on the map, you can see on their website. But again, a viable option, especially if you're by a city. So that is my follow-up video with the LG Leon from T-Mobile. And please follow me on Twitter and like the Facebook page. Facebook's really where I do a lot of my communication with all of you guys. You can ask questions or anything you feel like doing. And then also, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That really helps a lot. The numbers do help. So, thanks a bunch. Have a good one.